Okay, good morning, good morning. This first pattern we're going to walk through, I'm going to talk you through a couple things, a couple thoughts on it. First of all, essentially what this pattern is you enter here, you have a figure eight to execute, go through this chute, another figure eight to execute, and then a nice long sweeping U-turn and you're out. Nice and simple. Couple thoughts. I'm not going to address what the order of operations are here because it will be dictated by what happens here. We talk about deconstructing a pattern. This is indicating you're just coming straight in from the middle. If you came in from this side versus this side, in my opinion, it would change how I would most likely do it. I'm not going to really cover that right now. We'll probably address variations of that on some of these other patterns. So when I come in, I want to execute a U-turn through here, U-turn through here, right? Simple. The thing to think about is, first of all, where do I want to be for the next section? And I know I'm going to harp on this point, but in this case, I'm going to take this left to right for no real reason. I'm comfortable either way. If you're more comfortable, say, going left, meaning dropping the bike over this direction here versus this direction here, then I would probably take whatever direction you're more comfortable at this stage in your training. That's the one I would finish with. So let's just say I'm more comfortable dropping the bike to my left, counterclockwise. If that were the case, I would come through here and I would work my way through this portion of the figure eight, this portion of the figure eight, and then out. And the reason that is because if I've miscalculated anywhere else in this pattern, the odds of me fixing it, because I'm more adept at that left turn or counterclockwise direction, that would be safer. Because if I'm in a bad place over here, now my odds of saving it are better. So there's two. I know we talked about two different paths of travel to kind of walk you through. I'm going to do that here. So let me actually take the red pen first. This red pencil is going to be, I would say, a typical path of travel. So I'm going to come through here, okay? And what most people would do here is they're going to say, okay, well, I want a short course. So they're going to cut in here on this cone. This is our cone here. They're going to cut in here, and their circle is going to be somewhere around here. They're going to come in here and finish this circle here. So it'll be basically this path of travel over time, right? If you practice, it's going to be over here. And then when you come over here, it's going to be this path of travel here. Why? Because most people want to try to cut the course nice and tight, so they're cutting on the inside. But what's it doing? It's pushing them out into this area. When they finish, they're going to finish somewhere out here, okay? And then they have to come and hit this one. The challenge with this is, because I'm cutting in, I'm risking not clearing these cones here or these cones here. That's a risk. Same thing when I cut in here, I'm running the risk of not clearing these cones here, okay? The other thing too is when I finish this off, it might put me somewhere out here. And then I may have to make a correction and head that direction to meet my chute. My suggestion, what I would do is, and I've told you, steer the outside cone. In this case, I'm going to ride this from the standpoint of how I'm going to finish, not how I'm going to start. So I would come in deep here, and I would steer for this cone here. And I would get my turn finished to look more like this, okay? So that's a totally different path of travel. I'm going to get close to this cone, close to this cone. These are the ones I'm going to steer for, this portion of the turning radius. And on my exit, I'm going to come closer. So if you look at the exit, you have all this space from this circle to out here. All this space here is about the distance you have from the cone on the exit. I have on my exit, I'm much tighter. See, I'm like half that distance from the cone. On the entrance, I'm much further away. But what I like about this, and the reason I do this, is because now I've exited and it puts me in a much better spot. I'm more like in the center of the pattern here. So whatever's coming my way, I'm already ready for whatever's next. And in that case, it happens to be this. So same thing. I'm going to steer out here. I'm going to come out here, and my circle out here is going to look more like that. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to steer close to this cone out here, and I'm going to exit close to this cone rather than enter close to this cone. What's it going to do? It's going to put me right here in the middle of the pattern again. So regardless of where we're going, when we execute these circles, it's putting us right in the middle of this pattern. So we're really ready for whatever comes our way at this point. Well, in this case, it's exiting through this chute. And I've definitely given myself a nice bit of leeway to make this chute. I haven't come through here where I'm tight and it might push me out, and now I'm out here and I have to come back in to execute this chute. I'm lined up perfectly and I'm nice and tight to just shoot right through here. So the same thing here. Now in this case, if you look, this thing's shooting out to the right. So what I like to do is minimize the amount of turning movements that I make. So for me, I would start with my left, I come out deep, right? And like I said, this is my pattern here. Whether that I need to hit here and I need to come out here, the point being I'm close to this cone on my exit. And for me, the reason I went left first is this. So if you look, that's a nice sweeping right. I'm going to come up here, and same thing here. I'm going to do tight, and that's what my circle is going to look like, right? I'm going to be up here in this portion of the pattern. Now when I'm exiting close to this cone, and I'm coming out. But look, I've got a beautiful turning radius. I'm going to now come steer through here and come around here. So all this is one turn. I come out here high, nice and high, tight to this cone, and now from this point forward, I'm turning. This whole thing is my turning arc, right? Nice and smooth, one motion, less to think about, less to screw up, nice and smooth out of there, and then boom, I'm done. Versus, again, I come through here, whether I take it left or right. Let's just say we come in here and we go tight right. So we come in here, tight right. Now I'm doing this circle here, somewhere around here. Come around here, same thing. Nice and tight, staying low, right? But let's say that pushes me out, like we said last time, in my completion of it, I'm out here. Now I have to make a correction left, and then I have to dive in right. It's dangerous, it's slow, it's not as smooth, and it's more for me to worry about. Because this thing finishes right, in my mind, smooth arc all the way out of this pattern. That's kind of where my head is at with this, okay, if that makes sense. So this is safer because I'm giving myself enough room to put myself back in the middle of the pattern. What's next? Safe. This whole deal here, I want to land somewhere in here when I complete it for whatever comes my way afterwards. You don't want to put yourself in a compromising position when you're here where, okay, yes, potentially risking, because I went tight here, now I'm on my own, I'm on a ride to see where this lands. Maybe I'll clear these, maybe I won't. If I go up here, I'm giving myself